Yeah, hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and thanks for subscribing. This is Big Boy the Genius video again. I'm gonna react to it. Hold on one second. It's about 19 minutes long, so as you know, my commentary is gonna be probably 2 to 3 times that. Um, yeah, I think in this video he's talking about. He says bullshit, but it has to do a lot with religion and what's going on in the world and why the world's like this and why is the world like that. I have my personal opinions on that, very personal. It's not right or wrong, just my personal view and opinion on that. And it covers religion and it covers the woman's a woman's enemy, aka what's between the legs, which is very important. I don't think people understand that. And so I'm gonna react to his videos using religion and what's in between the woman's leg, anatomy, sexual anatomy. Yeah. Right. So some people might be offended, and some people might think I'm on point. I like Big Boy's background. I wonder how his house or his apartment really looks like. He's in Mobile, Alabama, so I don't know. I like to see. He's doing all this content and truck driving and Uber Eats and all this, and you can't live in a nicer neighborhood. Forgot he got child support. Damn, you got to pay a lot with that. You want to be big boy, so start spending some big money. I guess why you kind of like broke, kind of. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. This is 2026. This is May. Listen, thanks for watching. We're gonna get right into it right now. I'm cooking something to eat, so I'm gonna have to slow down. I'm gonna have to pause a minute. I think I cooked the rice wrong, the long grain rice. I think I cooked it wrong. Too much water. Anyway, so he's gonna be talking about these things. I'm gonna probably interrupt a lot, maybe not that much. So just keep steady, keep focused. I don't like to bore y'all, but I also like for you to understand. This is not gonna be a simple reaction video or any of my videos. I go long, hard, and deep because I'm just trying to dispel some of the things people think and some people to say and react to it, counterattack it. He gonna be talking about some religion and why things happen. Things happen for a reason. And this is God. If you believe in it, God wants this to happen. Violence? Yes. Yes. It's called population control. There's good, bad. There's good and bad in everything people do. Now, if you say God is all good and he don't want evil, but then maybe there's another God called the devil that's just as powerful as he is, as Jesus and God is. Now what? So you can look at it either way. There's two gods. One is the devil, and one is, as we all know, is our God, Jesus, and all that, the Son of God. Or this is only one God, and this how he wants it. He wants us to battle and control. He knows deadly, but hey, he's God. He could create the exact same thing he destroyed. Look at it as that. Now what? If he's so all powerful, then what you worried about it for? Maybe that's what he wants. He wants creatures to adapt to their surroundings. He wants creatures not to destroy too many to destroy the earth. So sometimes he has to do a population control, which is built in our genetic system and coding. Alright, and so why is everybody crying and complaining for? Think about things instead of worrying about me snatching or stealing your phone or snatching your pocketbook, or you just scared of me because you come from another country. Instead of worrying about what you're supposed to be worried about, you want her to come to no other country, and you want to worry about what God is doing. Alright? Because I think some people who are scared of me and nervous around me, you're more worried about the devil than you are about God. Even though I believe both of us are the same, from what I've heard. Anyway, let's keep moving, alright? So-called good people on a ferry on a train in New York City. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's see what he has to say, alright?
Why is there so much evil and so much suffering in the world? You're going to say, well, that's because the devil, but who allows the devil? Who controls this whole thing where it's so much suffering in this world? And if you ever asked yourself, who's controlling this whole world? I mean, a lot of y'all gonna come back and say, well, it's God that's doing it. Well, if it's God that's controlling it, why is there so much evil and so much suffering in the world? You're gonna say, well, that's because the devil, but who allows the devil? Who controls this whole thing where it's so much suffering in this world? And it's almost like somebody is feeding off of the suffering of the people on this planet. I cannot explain it, because if you go back and say, well, it's the devil and God is against it.
Okay, of course somebody's gonna feed us. People feed off and get enrich themselves whether something good has happened or something bad has happened. It's called reality, bro. It's called reality, Mr. Tough Guy. Yeah, it's called reality, right? It just is what it is. Somebody dies, somebody get fired from your job, somebody benefits from that. Somebody dies, somebody benefits off of that. All right. When you drop your chicken, it's dirty and nasty, you throw it out the window. Guess what? Somebody benefits off that. Some creature, big or small, benefits off that. Yeah. So it's called God. That's how He wants it. He wants a yin yang balance in life. What is good is what is good is somebody's bad. What is somebody's bad is somebody's good. So if you look at and this, I don't believe this too much. I mean, I do kind of, but I'm not religious like that. But I believe there's two gods. There's the devil, the most. I hate to say that people are gonna ban me, and I might get banned from YouTube. But I'm gonna be honest. I think as of right now, maybe he might be the most powerful force on earth right now. Yeah, I think he is. I think the devil is the most powerful force on earth. Yeah, right now. The most powerful God. There's two gods, and and I think the devil's the most powerful God on the earth right now. Yeah, just look around you, you'll find out yourself. When get, But anyway, I'll allow him to talk. All right, let me see what he has to say. Then I'll rewind and come back and comment on it. All right.
Who is controlling this? Because if a Christian come back or a religious person come back and say God is not true. So God is allowing all of this evil, all of this mayhem, all of this suffering all around the world. Who is controlling the children who has cancer in the hospitals right now?
All right. So let's answer that question. Let's really seriously answer that. Who is doing it? Yes, God is allowing it. Now it could. You have two answers. You have two answers. You have two answers to choose from. You could say one, this is God's divine plan. I know it sounds like an excuse, but it could be God's divine plan of living and dying. He created it, so why not take it away? Because of population control of His principles and rules of the best comes first, and so it must survive, whether it's good or bad. Okay, listen, I'm not a preacher and I'm not religious, so I'm not really preaching religion, but I'm just trying to get some theory on this that can hopefully help him and help others. So maybe God wants this. Well, he can't, just because bad things happen doesn't make him evil, because He does good things too. He creates fruits, trees, grass that makes you feel good and puts something in your belly. It gives you fresh water, but you destroyed it. So how can you be pro God and love God when you destroy His stuff that He gave you to help you, to make your life easier and nicer? Or you could have the second answer. Once again, it could be two gods. The evil God called the devil, and the good God called God Himself, or Jesus, or however you want to label Him. Okay, so now what? So all the good that's happening is because of God Himself, the good God, and everything bad that's happened is a bad God, which we know as Lucifer, and they're both fighting it out. They're both duking out for supremacy. So how you want to look at it? How you want to look at it? With or without your glasses? Let's continue. Technically speaking, the world is not out of control. But hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh shit.
Nobody's taking any interest in even in the people who are suffering. You tell me, if somebody's taking interest in the people who are suffering, why are them kids dying of starvation over in Gaza? Why did slavery happen and people die, kids get thrown out? And I'm reading this.
Okay, good. That's good, because that's what irks my nerve. I'm gonna make this comment and I gotta check my food. I'm hungry. And God wants me to eat. Listen, he's talking about all this stuff with suffering. You know why the world is suffering, bro? You know why? Like I told you, it's one or two possibilities. It's the God himself, and this is the way he wants it. And people gonna say no, no, no. But you know, if you create something, what you call life, life also equals death. So destruction and so on and so forth. We're doing a lot of chemicals, a lot of forces, blah blah blah. He didn't really. He don't want to think. Maybe God don't want to think of death as something bad. It's just a cycle of life. You ever thought about that? Or once again, is the two forces, is the two gods at work. God and Lucifer, they fighting it out, they duking it out. You can look at it that way. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Okay, number 2, Gaza, human suffering. Bro, you know what I contribute that to? You know what I really contribute that to? And I might get banned for this? Probably will. What's between a woman's legs? Whoever gives birth, and whoever decides to give the best birth possible, is going to dominate the world for good or for bad. Women ain't producing nothing. Ain't nothing they can do to conquer the world, and nothing they can do to defend themselves against the world. Life is kind of simple like that. So if you don't use God's tools, his food, his rivers, his water, his punani in the right way, chances are that we're suffering. Yeah, well, it's going to go on every single day. I know I'm going to get bad comments. It might get banned. I'm going to shadow banned. But listen, what you put out is what you're going to get. And if women ain't putting out nothing significant to adapt to the changing times that they see right in front of them, yeah, then you're going to get the suffering in Gaza. Slavery, yeah, same thing. You got 6-foot niggas weighing 400 pounds and allow the white man to come with chains and grab your fucking dumb ass to another country. What's the point of being a 6'4", 400-pound dude? You tell me. You fucking tell me. Then you can answer all the questions you ever had in your whole life. Maybe those women should produce better men. Better men. Maybe that's it. How's that sound? They're still not doing it. Not significant enough. Not in significant numbers. Now what? Stop being silly. Stop manifesting. Just do what you're supposed to do. Be the best nigga you could fucking possibly breed. That's it. Then you can defend yourself. You think when the victims of Genghis Khan's wrath were producing the best possible man in the world? No, they wasn't. Whether they technically did it or not, Genghis Khan and his tribe would produce something because Genghis Khan came about and controlled half, if not most, of the world at that time. So let's continue because I'm getting upset now. I'm gonna check my food. I'm gonna let him rant and see what else I could comment on this video, right? Now Big Water speaking, not him, and he's gonna say whose fault is it? Ward, it's your fault. Number one, it's your type of men. These 6-foot, big ass niggas that can't do shit for nobody. Maybe move some rocks around, some lumber to build a house. That's about it. Because like I said, those 6-foot big black dudes in Africa didn't do nothing. Couldn't stop the white man from making us slaves. Could not do it. Did not do it and could not do it. So yeah, that's part of the reason it's your fault. That's part of it. The second fault it is women breeding patterns. It's getting worse and worse and worse. They're not breeding or they're breeding nothing. They're breeding us back into slavery. That's what they're doing. They're doing nothing. They're breeding almost nothing. For the most part. Not all women, of course. But for the most part, they're not breeding anything. They're not breeding. They're just having babies. And that's sick. That's evil. A.k.a. Lucifer. And that's despicable. And then they're going to create that type of pattern of breeding. It's going to evil pattern of breeding It's going to create slavery, Gaza suffering, Holocaust, unnecessary death, so on and so forth. We got to keep the breeding under control. And not do it because you like somebody, or he's 6'5" and can't get nobody out of slavery. Or in my father's case, it takes 6 black dudes to kill one to kill my father. Because they can't fight and they can't get pussy. Who bred that? How did they come about? How did they get here? Yeah, nobody can answer that. Not even YouTube, Google, or Chat GDP can't even answer that simple fucking question. But let's continue.
Who made the devil? Blame man. Who made man? Okay.
Alligators. Who is controlling this stuff, all of this evil and all of this stuff? And if you say again it's God, and if you say again it's Satan, well, who made Satan and who cast him down to the earth? These are deep questions.
Well, that's kind of a good point. Who, but stop using the word who. Because who, to me, it signifies a normal, mortal human being. So we got to stop that. Those are all pretty good questions. I ain't gonna front about who created God and the devil and all that. Man, that's a good question. I don't know the answer. I'm not gonna try to guess the answer. It's gonna be silly of me. All right, man, it's not a bad question. That needs to be answered, but it could be answered. Women just gotta breed better men, and better thinkers, and more intelligent people, and stop worrying about their selfish. Being selfish is the devil, is Lucifer thinking. Being caring about others besides yourself is the work of God and His doctrine, Jesus, God, so women gotta be women's gotta be more on the side of God and His doctrine, even when we're looking at even when we're talking about what's between a woman's legs. All right, we gotta be careful and thoughtful who we put on this earth. If you want answers to questions, you want things to whatever you want in this world. I know it sounds effed up and it don't sound right, but it all starts with what comes out of between a woman's legs, and she got to put more thought into it. All right, that's all I gotta say. Let's see what I think he's saying the same thing, right? Let me see. I don't want to bore you up with his commentary too much.
And some of y'all gonna come in with some negative stuff, talking about you can't do this, and God is a mystery. That's irrelevant from anything that I'm asking. That doesn't make any sense. Who's controlling this world? Why so many people are suffering over and over? And it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and it does not seem to have any end in sight. And if you say, well, one day that God, how do you know that for sure? Because people have been saying that for thousands of years.
Once again, you're going to answer my question, and you're going to answer that God's question. Who is to blame and all that stuff, and all the questions that the last guy asked. He's going to answer it, and I told you I'm right. It's that and what comes out of between a woman's legs. It's very important. I don't want to say women are to blame, but I wouldn't say all women to blame. I would say more than half are all to blame. They could do a better job of what's coming out between their legs. And sometimes what's not coming out between their legs, that's AKA for not making babies. I get it. Making babies is stressful, biologically speaking. Then raising one. I get it. But women always say they're strong and this and that, and stronger than men and all that. Well, then, why should I have sympathy for the fact that you're gonna make a baby? And the other women do it. You said you're equal to other people. But he's gonna answer it right now. So hold on one second. I might as well just run it right. Here we go.
One of the main explanations I've gotten for that question is it's us. They don't blame the devil no more for the way the world is. They say us and our free will.
Free will, that's right.
But an all-knowing, all-powerful.
Free will to do good, bad, or indifferent. Free will. So So if you got the free will to do nothing, then something's gonna happen. If you got the free will to do nothing, something's gonna happen. If you got free will to do something, then nothing will happen. Nothing good or nothing bad. You gotta pick your poison. But you gotta do something, and it starts with us. And it starts with between the woman's legs. You know, you're not supposed on YouTube blame women for violent men and 6 foot men that can't do nothing to protect us from slavery and can't do nothing. We can't blame women, but if women do something good, we gotta celebrate this a holiday. You know, can't blame women for killing my father because he had nothing to do with it, and I don't know. 5 guys came from somewhere, and they ain't just come from around the corner. So, is the woman strong or are they weak? Which one is it? Okay, strong woman talk to men to make better babies and to control the world. Weak women just let things happen and hope for the best and manifest. A 6'4" guy's gonna one day get us out of slavery. Anyway, hold on one second. All right, he's gonna ask some serious questions. And of course, he want to ask her if God was here, what would he ask him? We could ask women why women don't create better men, give birth to better men, pick better men. How come women say they're so strong and equal and all this, but when we ask them to create better men, they manifest answers from the devil's playbook? We could ask that too. Why can't you ask women these type of questions? Well, not really this type of question, but why you can't ask them to give birth to better men? You know, we've done we've invented a lot of things, did a lot of things that because some women decided to breed better men. All right, and others said no. So what we do with those others that say no? What we do with them? Ask that question. Nobody asked the question why my father got killed by 4 or 5 guys. Nobody asked that. Nobody asked why. Nobody asked the mothers of them. So we can ask a lot of questions, but you can ask some basic ones and ask them to women. They're the ones that give birth. Maybe we should start from there and take it from there. You know what I'm saying? That's all. When a woman is scared to answer it, then stop. Then woman's got to give up the strong role because they're not strong. Okay? They're not strong. They're the only ones I know that gives birth to human beings. So if they're not strong enough to answer a question, then they're not strong. They got to stop that trope. Okay? I'll give you a little rundown what he's going to ask and say.
For him, these are some of the questions that I'd have. Why create a world with this much unnecessary suffering? I'm not talking about the suffering that we cause each other as humans. I'm talking about the suffering that just happens completely on its own without our involvement.
Well, it's called the natural order, sir. I mean, if God created a tree and the tree does its thing, and over time, what is written in the genetic scriptures of life, the tree's gonna get old, it's gonna rot. The forces of nature is gonna make it rot even faster, slower, or what have you. It's gonna fall, and it might accidentally hit somebody. I don't know. I think that's kind of natural. I mean, for anything, you know. And how do you know the devil is not a god, and he's stopping God from making good things happen all the time? Cause y'all not doing too much good down here, so you can't expect a God to defend himself against Lucifer when he wants to make bad things happen. Why don't you start being good yourself and tell women to make better babies? Because if women make evil babies, then that's gonna be the cycle of life. A lot of women produce evil babies, and some handful of women can produce good babies. If you don't want suffering like the Holocaust, then somebody's got to make better babies to defend themselves against the Holocaust. How is that as a question, as a yin yang question, a yin and a yang question, and a yin and yang answer? If you don't want to get defeated, then give birth to men that will stop anybody from defeating them. I think that's kind of simple. Anyway, let's see. Hold on. I'll give more back to him later. Let's see what he has to say.